My bed is so messy. Look at it. Anyways, sorry the episode is late. Episode. I had to study last night because I'm in school. So, anyways, last night we had episode 3? Yeah. Um, this is an interesting episode. What I really liked about this episode, again, there's no script. We don't need scripts in this bitch. We don't need scripts in here. What's the episode title? What Remains is Bestial. So this episode to me seemed like it dealt a lot with duality. It would show a positive and a negative side of just about every character in this episode, and I thought that was a really good thing to see, especially because it reflects positively on the actors' abilities as well, to see them kind of play more positive aspects of the character as well as more negative ones, and we got to see that from more characters other than really just for everyone, because usually except for maybe Cookie, she's the only one that kind of goes back and forth between the two. But kind of running down everything, so Andre got hit with some fucked up charges, which I totally believe is something that would definitely happen to a black man in the system, in the American legal system. And they got him for like assault and battery and a bunch of other bullshit things that, from what we know, because we saw it happen as the audience, isn't true. Isn't true at all. And these are things that do regularly happen, that some officers will falsify claims. And he's in a really shitty position because it's a black man versus a white officer. That's just the facts of it. And just more than likely, they're not only going to believe the officer, they're probably going to take his word for it because it's a white officer. And he's kind of fucked. So we find out at the end of the episode, the uncle comes back. I keep forgetting his fucking name. But Lucius' brother comes back and kind of implies that he had something to do with those additional charges being added to Andre's case file. And so it puts him in a really tight position, because it's like, do I sell out my own dad to lose who's a piece of shit, mind you, but he's our piece of shit. Do I sell him out in exchange for like lesser degrees on my possible almost impending sentence, or do I just really have faith that, you know, my lawyer friend and the system will find a way to work itself out? Rarely does that happen, but do I try and make that a thing? So that's something that he has to deal with. When discussing the duality aspect of it, I think the best scene that shows it is when Lucius kind of picks them up while they're walking outside. It's actually after one of the opening scenes of him at the courthouse, and takes them all the way to their old crib back in like Philadelphia. And you see like these broken down streets, these battered areas, and he goes on this long tangent talking about, he's like, oh, I thought my problem with y'all was because you were gay and you were spoiled and you were bipolar, but it's because you don't know you're black. And a lot of the dialogue in this episode is, I half agree, because they will make a good point, but it's the way they say it or the characterization of the character as we know them that kind of makes it weaker. So the thing is, Lucius makes a good point in saying that he may not have raised them as good as he should have, because he was so focused on getting them out of that more kind of urban area. And a lot of urban areas are just not doing well at all, especially in like Philly. You know, you see poor people, broke people, homeless people, like people shooting each other, fighting each other, all this violent and crime and shit like that. It's like, of course a parent would have raised their children in a better area, and from that he kind of built the empire and everything. And he doesn't think that they don't see that constantly, which is a fair point that you could make at face value. But we know the way that Lucius treats his kids is that, one, he's not a father, and that's the problem with it. Well, he's not a good father by any aspect of it. He's a father in the fact that he has kids and he looks over them and he kind of tries to take care of them, but he's not afraid to pull the rug from under their feet or throw wool over their head, whatever the phrase is. As we see at the end of the episode when he releases the Black Album, which is all the music that he produced for Andre's album, or not Andre, Jamal's album. He's just gonna release that. So it's just like, well, that was a shitty thing to do, but you're gonna go on this long tangent, just like, I should have raised you more to recognize that you were black. But it's like, but that doesn't seem like something that you're as like cognizant of as you want it to be. You make all these claims talking about, you don't know your roots, you don't know that you're black, you don't know where you came from, but they do, to a degree. So I see the point that he was trying to make, is that you have to understand where your roots come from to see the way that the world will just treat you. The world will treat you differently just because of the color of your skin, as exhibited clearly by Andre. So I can understand why he'd get upset. And the way the brothers handle it is very different, because Andre and Jamal, they're the two older ones, the more mature ones. Andre, rightfully so, storms out. Because Lucius is going on about, like, no amount of white friends, white lawyers, white wives, and all that stuff. And that's true. That is true. No matter how many, like, white people that may not save you from being a victim of the system. That it won't. There's a bunch of shit going on right now, and there's a thing that we have to fix as a country overall. But I can understand why Andre would be upset, is that you try to, like, pinpoint the things. You try to pick an issue and make that the excuse for you still being a shitty father. And that doesn't work. So I can understand why Andre stormed out. Jamal, of course, trying to take care of his brother, goes after him. But Hakeem does something different. He does a different tactic. He kind of does a more, and this ties into, like, Hakeem's situation for the episode. So I'll just go into that. So Hakeem for the episode got kind of salty because, Tiana was performing and everything. This new song, Love You Long Time, which is a phrase that I will never not think is kind of stupid and low-key racist, but whatever the fuck. And then, like, this new rapper dude comes up and is grinding on her and makes out with her and all sorts of fuckery. And, Hakeem's the back, wah, wah, don't do that. We used to fuck. And Hakeem gets salty, which shows that even over the course of 3 seasons, Hakeem still has really strong feelings for Tiana. So just stop fucking it up. Don't be a piece of shit. Don't be a shitty dude. And this wouldn't happen. Stop, cheating on the girls that you date and shit like that. Which I talked about before. It was one of my issues with the show, that it just kind of glorifies cheating. Like, oh, that's normal. Which, it's normal, but it shouldn't be something that you kind of make, oh, that's fine, because they're rich. But Hakeem's been, working on a diss track, and we get the scene with Shine choking out his sister, cousin. I'm forgetting who she is. But the singer chick on the show, and, like, Hakeem's like, whoa, that's too far. Which is rightfully so. Like, she doesn't want to sing. Well, clearly, well, a woman doesn't want to do what I think she should do. No, that's awful. That's really shitty. That's not how a civil human being with a soul and a brain does things. But it's just so much fuckery. And so later on, Hakeem's like, nah, we're gonna go back to the studio. We're gonna finish this diss track and we're gonna do it right. And what he did was actually kind of clever, is that he used Tiana's own vocals in his diss track to the dude. And, while I'm watching this, I'm like, this is a very interesting tactic that he's taking. While the brothers left, they're like, you know what, we're going to prove ourselves for ourselves, not for our father. Hakeem's taking the other way. He's like, you know what, I'm going to prove myself that I still have that fire within me to my father, to show that, like, even though he is a shitty father, I am my own man as a result. I'm going to show myself as such. Granted, I don't think a diss track, the jet engine returns. But I don't think him being salty, I think he should just learn to get over Tiana, because that's really something that's been a thorn in his side in all 3 seasons so far. You either has to get with her or get over her. You gotta learn, motherfucker. And he tried that and didn't work out too well. So it's whatever. Because he threw a fucking fit. And it shows that Hakeem is still very much immature, so of course you don't get the reins to the empire. But there's some things he does that are kind of smart. But, he has to learn to be a father. He has to learn still to be a man. He's a young guy, he's a rapper and everything. So he has to learn how to do that. There is this thing going on with Taye Diggs' character. I'm forgetting his fucking name too. I'm just calling by the actor's name. But when Cookie came to talk to him about the rapper kid and everything, because Lucius made him a deal. He's like, you can join Empire, whatever the fuck, because he's like, I heard you rapping, maybe stay away, da 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 da. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's an interesting deal. And then we find out the kid like is a mentor to all these young girls. They could be like computer engineers, and he has a track to MIT. Again, going back to that point about duality, the Tay digs something that makes a point, but it also like each character has their own opinion, so the way it comes out kind of has positive and negatives to it. It shows that the characters are fucking human. So it's just like, the world doesn't need another rapper, a black rapper, or a black athlete. We need like scientists and teachers and educators and people like going out there making a difference. And the way I see it is that yes and no. The world does stand to have, America at least, does stand to have more representation of black professors, black scientists, computer techs, engineers, to show that, and to show younger people that we are multifaceted, because we are people. We can do anything just like any other person could. You can be a teacher, you can be a scientist, you can be a doctor, you can do da 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 da. You can go to MIT, you can go to Harvard, you can go to these top tier schools and make something of yourself that isn't just a rapper or an athlete, which are generally the stereotypes for black people. But my thing is, kind of to counterpoint that, is that if that, Cookie kind of pointed out later on, she's like, you know what, chase your education now, do the best you can, and if you're really serious about music, you come back, because Empire's not going anywhere. And that's the thing, being a musician or an entertainer, you do have time for that. Or if you're really serious and passionate about that, then yeah, you can do that and still make a difference with that position that you have as a rapper. You can speak out to people, you can use your voice, you can use it as an actor, you can use it as an artist, even as an athlete. If you're looking at the stuff going on with Colin Kaepernick right now, he's using his influence as an athlete to kind of spread the word about issues of police brutality. So it's like, he does have a point that there does need to be people that are chasing these dreams other than the stereotypes that we're given. But at the same time, you can ascribe to doing those other things and not be a stereotype, as long as you're really being yourself and chasing it like hard with a passion and fierceness, just like anyone would any other dream. So I thought that was interesting, and he apologized for it later on. So I'm interested to see how his relationship goes on with Cookie. I think they make an interesting couple together. I like the fact that she's taking it slow. Like, he leaned in for the kiss, and she's like, yeet, like, no. But that was cool. So I overall like this episode. Oh, Jamal, the other brother. So Jamal met up with I want to keep calling her Breezy because that's the actress name, Frida Gatz, in prison. Frida seems really sympathetic. She got her hair all braided back like Luke Cage did, and just Jamal, something in him like snapped, and he just wasn't having it. And he's just like, no, it's your fault that I have PTSD and that you shot me. And I think it's really him trying to figure out. He's like, deep down inside, he wants to go back to music. He wants to sing and he wants to perform, but he can't do that because of his PTSD. And there's some barrier stopping him from interacting with people how he would. Like, he acknowledges the fact that he has PTSD, but it seems like, and before he was talking all about free Frida, letting Frida go, but when he finally gets to free Frida, when he gets to see Frida, all the memories come rushing back, all the emotions, all the sensation, everything, and the PTSD kicks back in, and just like the trigger of everything just sets him off. He's like, no, I can't do this. Take her away. This is her fault. And again, yes and no, because it is her fault that she shot you because she had the gun and she pulled the trigger. She was aiming at Lucius. So that's kind of the no to it. So it kind of made me feel sometimes where I'm like, damn, Jamal kind of turned on her a little bit, and I hope this doesn't sour this relationship, because they had a good relationship before, and she seemed just so sympathetic and apologetic to him about everything that happened and everything that transpired, and I hope that Jamal wound up changing his mind and maybe apologizing down the road. So hopefully we'll see where that goes. I really like the song with him and Kitty. I think it's the character's name. Mariah Carey. I don't know why they didn't just make it Mariah Carey, but whatever. Who's looking good. Damn. She got better after she broke up with Nick Cannon. But it is what it is. So we'll see what happens next time. But the episode was solid. I thought it was good. You get to see a lot of positive sides and negative sides to characters and everything. I like it. So far, season 3 is like pretty going at a pretty steady pace. Oh, one last thing. Fucking, I wanted to call her Mookie, Boo Boo Kitty. Fucking Anika's thought ass. I need to get on my damn nerves, but she has to stay because basically, as she pointed out, her and Lucius are in a situation of mutually assured destruction, which I think is funny. I had that fucking buff masculine ass UPS man at the door. That made me laugh. I'm like, this man is too fit to be selling mail. He looks suspicious. He might come back, and he did. Came back literally eating pussy and shit. But we'll see where that goes. We'll see how the relationship goes down between Lucius' crazy ass and Anika's evil thought ass. Whatever. I don't like Anika. A lot of people don't like Anika. Don't nobody like Booby Kitty. But anyways, hopefully I'll see you guys next week. I can keep trying to make this a thing. So, later.